Good evening, everyone. I would like to call the Aventura City Commission meeting to order. Calling the meeting to order, and we'll have a roll call, please.
Mayor Weinberg.
Here.
Vice Mayor Friedland.
Here.
Commissioner Ing.
Here.
Commissioner Blatchman.
Here.
Commissioner Bloom.
Here.
Commissioner Cruz.
Here.
Commissioner Orlinsky.
Here.
Mr. Pegues.
Here.
And Mr. Myers.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. I would like to ask if our County Commissioner, Mickey Steinberg, would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Please rise if you can. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Commissioner, and thank you for all that you do for the city of Aventura. Okay, any deletions or additions, Mr. Manager?
None.
Okay, we've got a couple of proclamations tonight. The first one, I'm going to ask Vice Mayor Friedland to read.
Whereas athletic trainers are highly educated and skilled healthcare professionals who provide services in prevention, emergency care, clinical diagnosis, therapeutic intervention, and rehabilitation of injuries and medical conditions. And whereas athletic trainers work with individuals of all ages and in a variety of settings, including sports teams, schools, clinics, hospitals, corporations, and the military, to ensure the health and well-being of their patients. And whereas the National Athletic Trainers Association, known as NATA, has declared March as National Athletic Training Month to recognize and promote the critical work athletic trainers do in the healthcare field. And whereas the theme for National Athletic Training Month 2025, Champions in Healthcare, emphasizes the vital role of athletic trainers in improving health outcomes and enhancing the quality of life for their patients. And whereas the City of Aventura acknowledges the valuable contributions of athletic trainers in keeping our community safe and healthy, as well as their commitment to education, research, and injury prevention.
Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, Howard Weinberg, as mayor, and on behalf of the City Commission of the City of Aventura, do hereby proclaim the month of March 2025 as National Athletic Training Month. Yeah, it's a huge one. And I believe there's a representative here. Please, if you'd like to say a few words, you're more than welcome to, and then we're going to present you with this proclamation up here so we can take pictures to tell us your name.
Good evening. Thank you so much, Mayor. Thank you so much, City Commissioners. My name is Pradeep Banguri. I serve as the president of the Athletic Trainers Association of Florida. We're over 3,000 members strong across our state, and this is a statewide initiative to help us with some proclamations across various cities and counties. So we thank you for this token of appreciation and recognition for our profession. And we look forward to continuing working in the City of Aventura with athletic training.
Thank you, and thanks for what you and the members of your organization do to keep us fit. Why don't you come up here, we'll present this, and we'll take a nice picture of all the commissioners. Thank you. Okay. Next, moving forward, I believe that Commissioner Mickey Steinberg, you have a proclamation. Would you like to come up here and read it to us? Amit has one also, but you're going to go first, if you don't mind. Thank you so much.
Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you for having me here today. This is actually a promise I had made to Commissioner Stern, that whereas if awareness is the greatest agent for change, then it is appropriate for Miami-Dade County to propagate national health observances to better serve, inform, and educate the citizens within our community. And whereas colorectal cancer is one of the few cancers that can be prevented with timely screening, it is estimated that only 1 in 3 individuals eligible for screening are doing so. Whereas this type of cancer is the second leading cause of cancer deaths in the United States among men and women combined, the research supports prevention with colonoscopy screenings to detect early stages when treatment is more likely to be successful. Whereas educational insight and preventative techniques are key, colorectal cancer is increasingly being diagnosed in those under the age of 50, which is considered early onset, with such contributing factors as unhealthy diet and sedentary behavior. And whereas the national goal established by the American Cancer Society's National Colorectal Cancer Roundtable is to strive to increase timely screenings to 80% in every community for all eligible adults. Everybody, please get screened. So now, on behalf of our mayor, our chairman of the board, the members of the Board of County Commissioners, and on behalf of our Miami-Dade County and this community, we hereby proclaim March 2025 as Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month in Miami-Dade County.
Thank you. Will you join us up here for a photo, please? You bring that nice proclamation.
I just want to acknowledge Commissioner Michael Stern's wife, Randy, and his mother, Roz, coming up for the photo. And I've got things to say, so don't go.
Guys look amazing. All right.
We have one more proclamation, but first, Commissioner Bloom has a few remarks.
So I want to begin by expressing my sincere gratitude to the Miami-Dade County League of Cities and our clerk, Elisa Horvath, for helping me reach out to all the cities across the county and requesting a proclamation in honor of continuing Commissioner Michael Stern's important work of raising awareness for colon cancer screening. I'm deeply thankful to all the cities that have joined in this effort. A special thank you also as well to our Miami-Dade County Commissioner, Mickey Steinberg, and her office for being among the first to respond, and for being with us here tonight. Tonight marks the first time that we recognize Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month without the familiar presence of Michael Stern as the one to receive the proclamation. Instead, I wasn't going to cry. For 5 years, Michael didn't just battle for his own life, he fought for the lives of others. He turned his diagnosis into a mission to save lives, and in doing so, he brought joy and purpose to every moment that he had. Michael was dedicated to making a difference, using his story to shine a light on the importance and ease of getting a colonoscopy. Through his work with Fight CRC and the commitment of the City of Aventura behind him, he educated countless people on life-saving screening. Tonight, we are joined by Michael's wife, Randy, and his mom, Roz. I know I speak for everyone here when I say thank you to the both of you. We understand that when someone faces an illness, they do not face it alone. Thank you for supporting Michael in his fight, which allowed all of us to benefit from his friendship, his leadership, and his courage. We miss Michael dearly, our friend, brother, and colleague. In his honor, we continue the commitment he started to educate the public on the importance of colon cancer screenings. And with that, I will close the way Michael would have wanted me to. Michael would have said, colorectal cancer is preventable and treatable. Early detection is the key. If you're 45 or older and you haven't yet had a colonoscopy, make an appointment today. Don't wait. Early detection saves lives.
And we have a proclamation.
Whereas colorectal cancer is the second leading cause of cancer deaths in the United States among men and women combined, and whereas screening for colorectal cancer can lead to earlier detection and save lives by allowing for the prevention and treatment of this disease, and whereas, although colorectal cancer is one of the few cancers that can be prevented by timely screening, it is estimated that only 1 in 3 people who are eligible for screening do so. And whereas a champion for research and prevention was lost with the passing of our beloved City of Aventura Commissioner Michael Stern, and whereas the City of Aventura would like to recognize the late Aventura Commissioner Michael Stern as an advocate of Fight Colorectal Cancer and their combined efforts to increase awareness and offer education on the importance of early detection and screening of colorectal cancer. And whereas the Aventura City Commission is committed to carrying on the legacy of Commissioner Michael Stern by continuing to use Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month to inform the public on the importance of prevention and treatment.
Now therefore be it resolved that I, Howard Weinberg, as mayor, and on behalf of the City Commission of the City of Aventura, Florida, in honor of our friend and colleague, Commissioner Michael Stern, do hereby proclaim March 2025 as Colorectal Cancer Awareness Month. Okay, so now it's really a privilege because I'm going to, for me anyway, I'm going to present a couple of certificates of special recognition because when anyone in our community does something that is inspiring, is courageous, is helpful to the community, we want to know about it and we want to recognize it because we want to encourage it. And so the first certificate, it involves a situation where many of you probably saw the news last year, 2024, when a condominium president at one of our condo associations was arrested and taken away in handcuffs as the result of a 4-year investigation by the Aventura Police Department. And of course, everyone is innocent until proven guilty. Everyone is presumed innocent, whatever other disclaimers I should make. But the fact of the matter is that our police department, Chief Michael Bentolila's officers, have really become specialized in things like financial fraud and identity theft, not what you immediately think of when you think of a police officer. But the way that investigation got started is condominium residents in that building thought things weren't right, something wasn't right, and they came to the police department. The police department didn't poo-poo it and tell them to go away. They looked into it, and they saw a little smoke, and where there was smoke, there was fire, and they were very careful to investigate thoroughly. So we encourage our residents, as the flagship municipality, flagship condominium municipality in the state of Florida, we need to be the leaders, because there is wrongdoing, not always. If there was wrongdoing every time someone told me their board is corrupt, we'd all be, in a terrible world. But sometimes there's validity. So in this particular case, just a few weeks ago, a property manager at one of our luxury properties, luxury condominium buildings, thought something wasn't right. It looked like a vendor was doing something wrong and might be ending up with some money that they weren't supposed to have, basically stealing from the association. And she reached out to the Aventura Police Department. Well, lo and behold, the Aventura Police Department did a great job of investigating and found that not only was this property manager correct, but that this had occurred, allegedly, by the same individual at more than one building. But this manager is the only one that discovered it because she was very, very, very careful and reconciling and really professional and with great vigilance said, something's not right. And allegedly what was happening was, and this happens a lot these days, with, printers are so good now and everything, computers and high def, there were checks that were printed that looked exactly like the legitimate checks that were issued by the association, and they were forged with signatures that look like the association's board signatures, and they were deposited in the bank, a little bit at a time. Other managers didn't notice, but a few weeks ago, that person was also taken away in handcuffs. That's 2 in a short time as a result of the vigilance of our residents and the people who work in our community and the fine work of our police department. This investigation didn't take 4 years. This was just a few months. And I want to recognize that property manager, and most of us know her because of the condominium symposiums that she produces. We had one just last week where our state senator and our state representatives come in and we all get educated in condominium law and what's going on in Tallahassee and what we need to know. So she was practicing what she preaches. So I want to recognize Daniela Marquez for your great work. This is what the certificate reads. You can come, while you're coming up here to the right here, I'm going to read this. In recognition of your professionalism and vigilance in uncovering fraudulent activity within our community, the City Commission of the City of Aventura applauds your courageousness in protecting our residents. Congratulations, Danielle. Would you like to say anything? Make sure that is green, that microphone, that light.
Hello.
Hi.
Well, thank you. I want to thank the detective that was involved in the investigation for this case because it was very quick. We knew that the person was guilty within a few weeks, but they were obviously building the case. Thank you for the commission and for you, the job that you guys do, the events that we're able to host with your support in the city for condominiums, for board members, and for the homeowners. So thank you.
Thanks. Come on up. If you're here with anyone in your family, if your mom is here, come on up for a picture. Okay. So, many of you participated. Not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before that, in the annual, I think the 7th annual Ellie's Army Dirty Socks 5K run and walkathon. I think Stacy Levy is here now with her family and with some of her family. And it's really an incredible event. I don't think I ever missed one. I know that one of our commissioners is on the board, or the chairman of the board maybe. And it's a great event, and it inspires people, and it's for the best of causes. And there was just sort of something that was just so inspiring when Carlos Pardo, or Carlitos, another one of our fine residents, really a profile in courage. And at the finish line, a quadriplegic got out of his wheelchair and walked across the finish line. It was one of the most inspiring things that I've ever seen. And it's silly for me to try to explain it. I'm just going to ask the booth to play the video. If you could watch this for just 60 seconds or so. Wow, incredible. So again, an Aventura resident doing great things. I want to welcome if you, Carlitos, or any of your family, your wife, if anyone wants to say anything. This is a handheld mic over here. And Stacy, do you want to say something, or you want to give something to Carlitos?
That's fine right there. I can grab it. You better put it right there.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and it's a great honor to be here, and especially for Strength and Faith Foundation. It's our new organization. It's a nonprofit, and we are trying to do our best, not only inspiring and motivating people here in South Florida, but helping, supporting, and providing with guidance to people who suffer spinal cord injury. So it's a great honor to be here and represent so many people in needs, especially for young people who suffer accidents with a spinal cord injury. I did have one myself, believe it or not. I was playing tennis when I almost broke my neck, and I have an injury on the C4 and C5 level. And after the doctor saw me that I won't be able to move out of my power wheelchair, well, guess what? 5 years later, I'm proving it wrong, and I'm doing the best that I can do to support and to help others to do the same. So that's my blueprint from the future generations to know that we can do it. Everybody, if I did it, somebody can do it as well. And it's an inspiration for me to just participate in that kind of event. So thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, commissioners, for having me here tonight. Sure.
So I'm Stacy Levy, and I'm the founder of Ellie's Army Foundation, which was the host for the Dirty Socks Walkathon last week. And I want to thank you, first of all, for showing such courage and inspiring all of us at the event. And the foundation was named for my daughter, Ellie. At the end of her life, she had 2 double lung transplants, and her doctors told her that she needed to walk to get well. And her doctor asked her to do 30 laps around the floor, around the ICU, and she had done 15, so he didn't think she was going to be able to do it, but I'm sure you understand he was trying to motivate her. And he came back and asked her, did you do 30 laps? And she said, no, I did 31. So it's important to us at Ellie's Army. About 31 means to aspire, to persevere, to do the best that you can, to give all you've got, and then give a little bit more. And you epitomized and showed us what an example the human spirit could, can be. And so I want to give you this.
Thank you very much.
31.
Very special number.
Yeah, thank you.
So I'm going to read this certificate, Carlitos, and then we're going to come down there and take a picture with you and your family. And Stacy, hopefully you and your family will join us. Carlitos, in recognition of your inspirational crossing line finish at the Ellie's Army Dirty Socks 5K Run and Walkathon in Aventura, the City Commission of the City of Aventura applauds your accomplishment. Oh. Okay.
¡Viva Carlitos!
Fuerza, fuerza, Carlitos.
Fuerza, energía.
Mr. Manager, you have Employee Service Awards?
It's always a great honor and a privilege to present our service awards to our brave and heroic police officers. And this is Sergeant Antello's 15-year service award with the City of Aventura. Just a couple notable facts of his remarkable career. Back in 2010, he started with us as a public service aide and then became an officer in 2012. In 2013, he led the entire agency in narcotics arrests. And then in 2015, I'm sorry, he and two of his fellow officers stopped a man with an AK-47 that was about to rob the Walgreens late in the evening. They were able to take down this individual who had the rifle without any harm to any citizens, without any harm to any of the officers. For that, he received the Officer of the Year Award and the prestigious Leo Award from Miami-Dade County. Now, the Leo Award is not just here for Aventura. This recognizes all officers throughout Miami-Dade County. And throughout all officers in Miami-Dade County, he was selected for his heroic actions on that evening. So it's a major accomplishment. He's also worked in our multi-agency gang task force, our bike unit, and in our honor guard. And just recently, he was promoted to the rank of sergeant, so which is a remarkable accomplishment, and we're very proud of him, and he's going to have a remarkable career. I'd ask if you want your family to come up and take a photo. He's got his beautiful daughter, his lovely wife here. Oh, no.
She did really good. The first 45 minutes. She held strong. It's okay. Come here. I know. Come here. You did so good the first 45. Okay. You ready? Yeah. It's okay. Yeah.
Real quick. It's okay.
Happy holidays. It's okay. Thank you.
It makes me want to cry also, Sergeant.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody.
Okay. Moving on to consent agenda. Does anyone on the commission or the manager need to remove an item? Okay. If not, then I need a motion to approve the consent agenda from Commissioner Bloom, seconded by Commissioner Ain. Let's vote on that.
Commissioner Cruz?
Yes.
Commissioner Orlinsky?
Yes.
Commissioner Ain?
Yes.
Commissioner Blatchman?
Yes.
Commissioner Bloom?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Friedland?
Yes.
And Mayor Weinberg.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. Item 6, quasi-judicial public hearings. The quasi-judicial proceedings shall be invoked for 6B through 6E, also 6G. And I'm going to ask the city attorney to provide the procedures regarding quasi-judicial.
Thank you, Mayor. As the mayor said, the quasi-judicial procedures will be invoked for 6B, C, D, E, and G. These are zoning hearings and their quasi-judicial nature. As such, the quasi-judicial procedures of the city shall be invoked for these items. If you wish to object or comment upon these items, please inform the mayor when public comments are requested. An opportunity for persons to speak on these items will be made available after the applicant and staff have made their presentations on the items. All testimony, including public testimony and evidence, will be made under oath or affirmation for these quasi-judicial items. Additionally, each person who gives testimony may be subject to cross-examination. If you refuse either to be cross-examined or be sworn, your testimony will be given its due weight. The general public will not be permitted to cross-examine witnesses, but the public may request the commission to ask questions of staff or witnesses on their behalf. Persons representing organizations must present evidence of their authority to speak for the organization. Further details of the quasi-judicial procedures may be obtained from the clerk. I'd also like to mention at this time, Mr. Mayor, if any of the members of the commission had ex-parte communications with respect to any of the items, now would be the time to disclose them before the vote is taken.
Okay. And I'll ask the clerk to swear in anyone that will be offering testimony.
If you will be providing comments on any of these items, I need you to stand up, raise your right hand, and be sworn in at this time. If you'll be providing comments, or if you're a member of the public also that will be providing comments on any of the items, I need you to be sworn in at this time. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
Okay, and Madam Clerk, if you could read 6A.
An ordinance of the City of Aventura, Florida, amending Chapter 31, Land Development Regulations of the City Code of Ordinances by amending Section 31-145, Town Center Zoning Districts, to create Section 31-145F, Town Center North Plan Development TC5 District, to provide for a new zoning district and related regulations and standards, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the code, and providing for an effective date.
Can I have a motion to adopt the ordinance? Commissioner Cruz, seconded by Commissioner Bloom. I'll ask the Community Development Director to review the item, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, Kevin Klopp, Community Development Director. If we could have the presentation on the screen, please. Oops. Okay, so entitled this the Gulfstream Park Development Agreement. I'm going to make one presentation, if it's okay with the commission, for all 6 items. I'll cover everything all at once. For
I insist.
The culmination of many months, in fact, more than a year of work and meetings, is the development agreement, which is one of the items. Not the first item on the agenda that you just heard read, but is really the culmination. So that's why I titled it this. We are speaking about the south end of Gulfstream Park's property, which is the north end of the city of Aventura. See a graphic here on the screen, and the development agreement is something that is occurring along with a purchase of land for a new City of Aventura school, which is outlined here in red. A little background, as I mentioned, this has been going on for over a year. In December of 2023, a letter of intent was received from Gulfstream Park laying out the parameters of a potential development agreement they'd be requesting and a potential acquisition of land from the city for the city school. That letter was presented to the City Commission at a workshop in January of 2024, followed by a resolution in February of 2024, which authorized the manager to begin negotiations of this agreement. In June of 2024, the Commission then passed a resolution approving of the terms that had been negotiated. And then at that time, it was for 3 acres of land. In September, it was increased to 3.7 acres of land, which was believed to assist in a better school design. And then in October, we started the public hearings on all the zoning items. The comprehensive plan amendment and rezonings that would be necessary to make this happen. Then in February, the development agreement itself was presented at a public hearing. And here we are tonight, the culmination of all these items. They're all on the agenda for one final public hearing and reading. So as you see, there's been many meetings on this. Nobody can say that you weren't public and very forthright in presenting this for comment. So tonight's hearing include 6A, which is item we're on, which is the creation of a new zoning district called Town Center 5. And we have to create that zoning district first before we can start taking the steps to put that district into place for Gulfstream Park. The next item, 6B, is a future land use map amendment or designation to Town Center. Right now it is business and office. And so this will allow the Town Center zoning to be applied to their parcel. Then the next action would be to actually do that rezoning of their parcel. 6D is the rezoning of the remainder that is being purchased by the city, being rezoned to community facility, which allows for a school to be built. 6E is approving the development agreement. And then 6F is really a section to the development agreement, which is allowing access from Northeast 213th Street to the Gulfstream Park site. Currently, there's a covenant disallowing that access, so that has to be specifically undone or modified tonight. So what the ultimate description of what's happening here is Gulfstream Park's 26.5 acre tract of land. That's their tract minus 3.7 acres that will become the city's tract, which is currently designated business and office, will become a town center. And then it will be rezoned to TC5. TC5 allows a maximum density of 62 units per acre. Maximum height of the buildings is 30 stories, and it requires pre-approval of design guidelines and a plan for development, which there is not a plan of development at this point. These are just setting development parameters. The development agreement includes a 30-year time frame for them to implement the allowances in the agreement. As I mentioned, 3 access points from Northeast 213th Street. There are traffic mitigation requirements as they proceed to obtain permits. They will also have to mitigate traffic along 213th and Biscayne Boulevard. And there's a trade-off matrix, which I just want to explain very briefly because it could become a question in the future of how are they doing this. So the agreement sets parameters for traffic and the number of trips that can be generated on the parcel, based upon how many units they can have, as well as how many square feet of various uses such as hotel and commercial they can have. If they reach a point in the future where they've developed all of the commercial that this agreement allows them to build, but they want to build a little bit more, they can reduce the number of units equivalent by the number of traffic trips it generates and get that additional development. So it's a very flexible tool that they get with this development agreement on this trade-off, so they can address market demands in the future and not be tied in and have to come back to the city commission just for one small change of one thing or another. So that summarizes all of the items on the agenda. I'm certainly here to answer any questions on this specific one, which is the creation of TC5, or any of the others as you go through them. Thank you very much.
Any questions from the commission for the development director? Seeing none, we will open the item for public comment. If any members of the public want to speak, they should come forward now. I don't see any, so I'll close it for public comment and ask if there's any questions or comments by the city commission. I don't see anyone. I think I've disclosed on the record many times in terms of ex parte communications. It was as far back as 2022 that I reached out to the owner of the property and started the ball rolling. I asked for 3 acres of land to be deeded to the city at no cost to the city, contiguous to our existing high school, so that we could build a new school. That is a request that I made of Gulfstream, and we started the conversation, what will it take to get that done? Had 2 or 3 meetings on that topic, and then brought it to the Aventura City Administration to continue negotiations. So to the extent that's an ex parte communication, I most definitely had them. That's the beginning of why we are where we are today. Okay, no commission comment, then it's time to vote.
Commissioner Orlinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Ain,
Yes.
Commissioner Blatchman,
Yes.
Commissioner Bloom,
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Friedland,
Yes.
and Mayor Weinberg.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Moving on to 6B.
An ordinance of the City of Aventura, Florida, approving a small-scale amendment to the future land use map of the City of Aventura Comprehensive Plan pursuant to Section 163.3187 Florida statutes to redesignate an approximate 26.5-acre tract of land on the northeast corner of Biscayne Boulevard and Northeast 213 Street, identified by folio numbers 28-1234-019-0011 and 28-1234-019-0021, from business and office to town center, providing for conflicts, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the comprehensive plan, and providing for an effective date.
Motion to approve. Commissioner Ain, seconded by Commissioner Blanchman. You've included this in your review, Mr. Klopp. Any member of the public want to speak on this? Okay, seeing none, I'll close it for public comment. Any commission questions or comments? I see none. Let me clear this. So I'll close it and ask for a vote.
Commissioner Ain,
Yes.
Commissioner Blatchman,
Yes.
Commissioner Bloom,
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz.
Yes.
Commissioner Orlinski,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Friedland,
Yes.
and Mayor Weinberg.
Yes.
Motion passes.
6C.
An ordinance of the City of Aventura, Florida, amending the official zoning map by changing the zoning designation of an approximate 26.5-acre tract of land on the northeast corner of Biscayne Boulevard and Northeast 213 Street, identified by folio numbers 28-1234-019-0011 and 28-1234-019-0021, from Community Business District B2 and Medical Office District MO to Town Center North Plan Development District TC5, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the code, and providing for an effective date.
Motion to approve. Commissioner Blanchman, seconded by Commissioner Cruz. Any public comment on this item, 6C? Seeing none, I'll close it. Any commission comment, questions, statements? Let's close it and vote.
Commissioner Blatchman,
Yes.
Commissioner Bloom,
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz.
Yes.
Commissioner Orlinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Ain,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Friedland,
Yes.
and Mayor Weinberg.
Yes.
Motion passes.
6D.
An ordinance of the City of Aventura, Florida, amending the official zoning map by changing the zoning designation of an approximate 3.7-acre tract of land east of the northeast corner of Biscayne Boulevard and Northeast 213 Street, depicted on the location map in Exhibit 1 and legally described in Exhibit 2, from Medical Office District MO to Community Facilities District CF, providing for severability, providing for inclusion in the code, and providing for an effective date.
Okay. I need a motion to, Commissioner Bloom, motion to approve, Commissioner Bloom, seconded by Commissioner Orlinski. Any public comment? Any commission, I'll close it, any commission comment? Let's vote.
Commissioner Bloom,
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz.
Yes.
Commissioner Orlinski,
Yes.
Commissioner Ain,
Yes.
Commissioner Blatchman,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Friedland,
Yes.
and Mayor Weinberg.
Yes.
Motion passes.
6E,
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Aventura, Florida, approving pursuant to Chapter 163 Florida statutes, a second amendment attached to this resolution as Exhibit A to the development agreement made between Gulfstream Park Racing Association, Inc. as developer and the City of Aventura, dated November 8, 2006, and first amended on December 21st, 2017, to extend the term of the agreement to March 4, 2055, to allow for the development of 1,633 residential units, buildings of 30 stories, non-residential development of 150,000 square feet of office, 300 hotel rooms, 300,000 square feet of commercial uses, a commercial floor area ratio of 2.0, a land use trade-off equivalency matrix setting a maximum traffic generation limit, and 3 unrestricted roadway access points to Northeast 213 Street, all relating to 2 parcels of land totaling approximately 26.5 acres and legally described in Exhibit B, located on the north side of the Northeast 213 Street east of Biscayne Boulevard, City of Aventura, authorizing the city manager to execute the agreement on behalf of the city, providing for severability and providing for an effective date.
motion to approve, Commissioner Blanchman, second.
Mr. Mayor, can I just jump in here?
Please.
There was some clarifying language that was added to the development agreement. It was passed out before the meeting, and the motion to reflect the fact that this clarifying language is part of the motion that the commission is approving.
Okay, I need a motion to approve, which includes the clarifying language. Commissioner Blanchman, seconded by Commissioner Ain. Any public comment on this item 6E? Seeing none, I will close it for public comment. Any commission comment? Seeing none, we will vote.
Commissioner Cruz?
Yes.
Commissioner Alinsky?
Yes.
Commissioner Ain?
Yes.
Commissioner Blatchman?
Yes.
Commissioner Bloom?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Friedland?
Yes.
And Mayor Weinberg.
Yes.
Motion passes.
6F,
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Aventura, Florida, approving an amendment to the Declaration of Covenant with Gulfstream Park Racing Association, Inc. regarding vehicular access from Northeast 213 Street to Gulfstream Park properties, authorizing the city manager to finalize and execute the amendment to covenant, providing for implementation and providing for an effective date.
okay. Any public comment? I will close it for public comment, see if there's any commission comment or statements, questions. Seeing none, let's vote.
And Mayor, I believe we need a motion on the floor for this item.
I'm sorry? I need a motion to approve 6F. Commissioner Cruz, seconded by Commissioner Bloom. I did open it for public comment. I'll reopen it. I'll reclose it. Any commission comment? Now, let's vote.
Commissioner Alinsky?
Yes.
Commissioner Ain?
Yes.
Commissioner Blatchman?
Yes.
Commissioner Bloom?
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Friedland?
Yes.
And Mayor Weinberg.
Yes.
Motion passes.
6G,
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Aventura, Florida, approving a sign variance from Section 31-191J2F of the city's land development regulations to permit a wall sign on an elevation facing an adjacent residentially zoned property, approving a variance from Section 31-191J7 of the city's land development regulations to permit directional signs of 5 square feet when the maximum allowed area is 4 square feet for Belmont Village Senior Living located at 3150 Yacht Club Way, providing for implementation and providing for an effective date.
thank you. Did you want to speak to this, Kevin?
Very briefly, just to show the images of what the variance requested would look like. You've seen this rendering before, but the sign that you see saying Belmont Village is technically not allowed because it's a commercial use facing a residential use. We think that's perfectly fine. And the entry and exit signs and directional signs would just be slightly larger than is allowed. They thought it had the better scale for their site and for what they want to put on the signs. We also think they're perfectly fine. So we're in support of the variance.
Okay. Any public comment regarding this item? (6G). Seeing none, I'll close it for public comment. Any commission statements, questions, issues on 6G? Seeing none, we'll vote.
Mayor, I believe I need a motion for this item also.
You're so difficult.
I know.
I need a motion to approve 6G. Vice Mayor Friedland, seconded by Commissioner Orlinski. Any public comment? Second chance, last chance, closed. Let's vote.
Commissioner Ain?
Yes.
Commissioner Blatchman?
Yes.
Commissioner Bloom?
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz?
Yes.
Commissioner Orlinski?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Friedland?
Yes.
And Mayor Weinberg?
Yes.
Motion passes.
No first readings, no second readings on ordinances. Item 9, resolution. I'll ask the clerk to read item 9.
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Aventura, Florida, authorizing the waiver of the fees associated with the rental of the Aventura Arts and Cultural Center for the Young Star Showcase sponsored by the Aventura Marketing Council in an amount not to exceed $9,000, providing for implementation and providing for an effective date.
You're probably going to tell me I need a motion, so let me ask for one. Motion to approve. Commissioner Cruz, seconded by Commissioner Bloom. Mr. Manager?
Thank you, Mayor. This resolution waives up to $9,000 in rental and labor fees for the Aventura Arts and Cultural Center to support the Young Stars Showcase, an event sponsored by the Marketing Council. This longstanding event provides a platform for young local talent to perform in a professional setting. The fee waiver represents a foregone expense rather than a direct cost to the city, and similar waivers have been granted for events that align with the city's mission and values. And I'm happy to answer any questions.
Okay, any commissioners have any questions? This was workshopped. Any member of the public want to comment on this issue? Seeing none, I'll close it, and we'll vote on item 9.
Commissioner Blatchman?
Yes.
Commissioner Bloom?
Yes.
Commissioner Cruz?
Yes.
Commissioner Orlinski?
Yes.
Commissioner Ain?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Friedland?
Yes.
And Mayor Weinberg?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. Commissioner Cruz, did you want to comment on the balloons that we see here?
Yeah, briefly, I wanted to thank our city manager, Brian, and whoever went to get these balloons. They represent the pain we're feeling for the Bibas family. The two beautiful kids, innocent kids. One was Kafir, who was 9 months old, and his brother Ariel, that was 4 years old when they were kidnapped by this brutal and barbaric terrorist organization. This is why we have them here, because they represent the innocence of the Israeli people, and especially the kids. They were redhead kids, beautiful redhead kids. And as I tell everybody, most things in life are shades of gray. But this is one of those things that's very black and white, and whoever can't tell the difference is part of the problem. So we commemorate their lives. We send our deepest condolences, love and prayers to their father. Their mother also passed away, was also killed, unfortunately. To the father, Yarden Bibas, to their family, and we demand that all the innocent hostages are brought back home safely soon to their families. Israel's fight is our fight, and the city of Aventura is very proud to stand up loudly and proudly for the people of Israel as they undergo this terrible war, for all of us. And we pray for the safe return of the hostages and for peace and for the defeat of Hamas.
Thank you, and thank you, Mr. Manager, for the balloons. Reports. Any commissioner or the manager or the attorney have anything to report? Commissioner Orlinski?
I was reminded by Commissioner Bloom. So I just want to thank everyone for coming out to Ellie's Army 5K Walkathon this past Sunday, for participating and making it our 7th year a huge success. So next year we'll be doing it again, bigger and better as always. And everyone brought their best, and it made it super special. And moments that you brought, Carlos, each year we have special moments, and you made it extra special this year. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other reports? If not, we'll move on to public comments. I'm going to ask the city attorney to explain to members of the public how it works, what the purpose is, the fact that there's no personal attacks, and whatever else they need to know.
Well, you pretty much covered it, but the public has 3 minutes to speak to the commission on about any item that wasn't already covered on the agenda. It's not a back and forth with the commission. It's just 3 minutes to speak on an item of relevancy to the city commission and the city manager.
Okay, any member of the public wish to speak on an issue that wasn't addressed earlier? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to close public comment. Any other business? Mr. Manager, anything else?
None.
Okay, then I am going to ask for a motion to adjourn. Commissioner Bloom, seconded by Commissioner Ain. All those in favor say aye. Any opposed? We're adjourned.